Buddha sat beneath the banyan tree, his posture steady and his gaze serene amidst the murmuring disciples. Ananda approached Buddha, his expression restless, carrying the weight of a question that had troubled him deeply. Buddha's presence radiated calm, his stillness captivating every soul in the gathering. Ananda, kneeling closest to Buddha, spoke with a voice tinged with longing and confusion. It has been asked countless times through the ages. I will tell you a story, Buddha continued, his voice low and steady, drawing the disciples into his wisdom. Once there was a man, Buddha began, who walked a circular path every day, never wavering from it. The path was smooth and wide except for one jagged rock that lay at the far end, he explained. Every time the man walked past it, he stubbed his toe against the rock. Crying out in pain, Buddha recounted, he cursed the rock, blamed the world, and yet continued walking the same path. Buddha said solemnly. One day, an old woman approached the man, curious about his repeated cries of frustration. Buddha narrated, why do you not move away from the rock or choose a different path? The woman asked. Buddha described what would happen to the reflections. Ananda hesitated, his brows furrowed in thought. Before answering, the ripples would distort the reflections, rendering them unclear and fragmented. Ananda replied. Buddha smiled gently, his voice carrying the weight of timeless wisdom. Indeed, said Buddha, the pond's surface is a mirror only when undisturbed, just like the mind mirrors the truth. He reached for a small stone at his side and handed it to Ananda. Throw this stone into the pond and watch closely, Buddha instructed. Master, perhaps the man is bound by his fear, unwilling to face the uncertainty beyond his familiar path, Ananda said. Buddha nodded, his expression calm, as though Ananda's words resonated with the truth of the story. Indeed, fear is a powerful force, Ananda. It binds us to our suffering, even when freedom lies within reach, Buddha said. Time will pass, Buddha said, and the ripples will fade. The pond will return to stillness on its own. He was so consumed by his frustration that he did not see the choices waiting beyond his fixed path. Buddha revealed, when he blamed the rock, he failed to take responsibility for his own repeated suffering. Buddha concluded, the first step to breaking free from this cycle is awareness. Seeing the rock for what it truly is, Buddha taught, but awareness alone is not enough, Buddha cautioned. It must be followed by courage to step into the unknown. Ananda looked at Buddha, his eyes filled with a mixture of understanding and doubt, the lesson sinking in slowly. Master, what if the man does not find the courage to leave his path? What then? Ananda asked hesitantly. Buddha regarded Ananda with compassion, his gaze unwavering as he answered the difficult question. Then the man will remain in the circle, bound by the chains he forged from his own thoughts. Buddha said, it is not the path that binds him, nor the rock, but his reluctance to see beyond them, Buddha emphasized. He gestured toward the forest, the rustling leaves creating a symphony of nature's stillness. Listen to the leaves, Buddha said. We stumble on our own jagged rocks and blame the world for our pain, Buddha explained. We repeat the same mistakes because we cling to familiarity, even when it hurts us, Buddha said. Familiarity can become a prison, and the key lies not outside, but within our minds, Buddha taught. To break free, we must first understand our own role in creating the cycle of suffering, Buddha said. In silence, Buddha continued, one finds the space where wisdom dwells, unpolluted by the chaos of desires. He lowered his hand, resting it upon his knee, signaling the end of this lesson. Buddha raised a hand, his movements graceful, as though even the wind paused to listen to his reply. The mind resists because it fears losing its anchor, Ananda. It clings to what it knows, even if it suffers, Buddha answered. To cultivate awareness, one must begin with patience. Observing the mind without judgment, Buddha advised. Imagine the man standing before the rock. Pausing before he steps forward, Buddha began anew. In that pause, he sees the rock for the first time. Not as an enemy but as an opportunity, Buddha suggested. An opportunity to choose differently. To step aside. To carve a new path through the unknown, Buddha explained. Ananda lifted his head. His eyes brightening as understanding began to dawn within him. And if the man falters? Master? If he returns to the same circle despite his awareness? Ananda questioned. Buddha smiled faintly. His expression both compassionate and unwavering in its certainty. Faltering is inevitable, Ananda. It is part of the journey to freedom, Buddha assured. When the man returns to the circle, he carries with him the seed of change. Planted by his awareness, Buddha said, each step within the circle, guided by the seed, will eventually lead him to freedom, Buddha concluded. Master, your teaching awakens in me a longing for stillness. How shall I begin? Buddha's expression softened, his voice steady yet gentle. And so, Buddha said, his voice soft yet resonant, we walk the path of awareness. Step by step, toward liberation. The wind stirred the leaves above, as if carrying Buddha's words beyond the grove and into the vastness of the world. Another day, Buddha sat beneath the great banyan tree, the sun casting shifting patterns through its wide branches. A cool breeze carried the faint scent of blooming jasmine, the air heavy with quiet anticipation. Around him, disciples gathered, their faces etched with wonder and unspoken questions. I found myself there, drawn by a thirst for answers to the shadows in my heart. Buddha began speaking, his voice a gentle stream washing over us. Many carry burdens that grow heavier with each passing moment, he said. Let us unravel one such tale today. One of attachment and struggle. He turned his gaze toward me, his eyes pools of infinite depth. What burden do you carry, my child? I hesitated, a lump rising in my throat, before finally whispering, Master, I am consumed by anger toward someone who betrayed me. Buddha nodded, his gaze unwavering, inviting me to unburden my soul. Anger, he said, is a flame we hold in our hand, intending to throw it at another. As he spoke, his words painted vivid images that stirred my imagination. But the flame burns only the one who holds it, not the one it is meant to harm. I bowed my head, shame and confusion intermingling within me. How do I release this flame, Master, when my heart feels chained by its searing heat? Buddha gestured for the disciples to come closer. The circle tightening, a tapestry of shared human struggles. Listen, and I will tell you a story, he said, his voice like a river smoothing jagged stones. There was once a mighty tree standing tall in a vast forest. Its branches reached the sky, its roots deep. One day, a storm swept through the forest, its winds fierce, its fury unrestrained. Branches snapped, trees fell. The mighty tree bent to the storm, its leaves torn, but it stood firm. Its roots held it steadfast. Master, what meaning does this flower hold? We see conflict but cannot glimpse the harmony you represent. Buddha lowered the lotus, his voice a flowing stream of calm and insight. The tree replied, by yielding to the wind and clinging to the earth that has always held me. Buddha paused, his words settling into the sacred silence. The roots are our grounding in wisdom and compassion, and they hold us steady. I looked up, hope flickering like the first light of dawn piercing a stormy sky. What does the storm represent, Master? Buddha met my eyes, his gaze steady as the rhythm of the universe. The storm is the turmoil of the mind, the trials that test your spirit. He leaned forward slightly, his presence magnetic, compelling me to listen beyond words. To survive such storms, you must bend without breaking, yielding to what you cannot control, and you must nourish the roots of your being with kindness. equanimity, and understanding, he added. His voice gentle yet firm. My heart trembled, the weight of his words shifting something within me. But what of the anger I still hold? It feels insurmountable. Buddha smiled. A moment of light in the gathering dusk. Anger thrives in darkness, where shadows grow and truths remain unseen. Bring light to your heart through reflection and forgiveness, and anger will lose its grip on your soul, he said. He then gestured toward a nearby lotus pond, its surface shimmering in the soft glow of twilight. Do you see the lotus blooms rising from the murky waters? Pure and radiant? I nodded, mesmerized by the serene beauty that seemed almost otherworldly. Yes, Master, they are beautiful beyond words. Buddha's voice resonated with quiet strength. The murky water is the suffering of the world, the pain and struggles that cloud our lives. The lotus blooms represent the transformation of that suffering through understanding, love, and the realization of our interconnectedness. Compassion, Buddha said, is a seed that grows even in the harshest soil. It begins with understanding, nurtured by forgiveness, by sitting with your anger, not as its victim, but as its observer. When you observe without judgment, you begin to understand its roots, its triggers, and its impermanence, he explained. He gestured to the stars now visible above, their light piercing the vast expanse of darkness. And like the stars, let the wisdom of clarity illuminate your inner sky. I felt my breath deepen, a rhythm of life syncing with the harmony of the cosmos. And forgiveness. Master, how do I forgive when the wound feels so fresh? Buddha's smile was as gentle as the first rays of dawn caressing a weary land. Forgiveness is not for the other. It is a gift you give yourself. It unchains you from the prison of resentment and allows your spirit to soar like a bird freed from a cage. His words wrapped around me, dissolving the edges of my pain into something almost sacred. Forgiveness is an act of courage, not weakness, he continued. Just as the lotus unfolds its petals, so must each of you open your hearts to the light of understanding. His words painted a vivid image, the metaphor of the lotus etching itself into their consciousness. Buddha then asked me to close my eyes, inviting silence to take the place of speech. Breathe in the present moment. Feel its fullness, its serenity. As I followed his guidance, the tempest within me began to still, its waves lapping gently against a newfound shore. Breathe out the burdens you carry, for they are not who you are, Buddha's voice whispered through the stillness. The silence grew, a sacred space where words were no longer needed, where understanding blossomed unspoken. When I opened my eyes, the banyan grove seemed imbued with an ethereal light, a reflection of my inner shift. The disciples sat with me, their presence a testament to the shared journey of human existence. Buddha spoke again, his voice carrying the weight of both the timeless and the immediate. What have you learned from the story of the mighty tree and the lotus blooms? I met his gaze, my heart steady, my spirit lighter. That to let go is to find freedom, and to forgive is to find peace. Buddha nodded, his expression radiant with approval. And what of your anger? My child? What does it say to you now? I paused, searching inward, the flame of my anger now but a flicker of its former self. The lotus, Buddha said, is a teacher to us all, silent yet wise, a symbol of what each of you can become. He stepped back, allowing the villagers and disciples to absorb the lesson, their hearts stirred by the quiet power of his words. Then release it, my child, for the world awaits the light you hold. And with that, the session ended, the disciples dispersing, but my heart remained full, forever transformed by his words. Another day, Buddha sat beneath the banyan tree, the world around him cloaked in the golden hues of dawn. The disciples assembled, each one a seeker of wisdom, their faces filled with anticipation. I joined them, My mind heavy with questions of clarity and truth, Buddha began speaking. His voice gentle yet commanding, carrying the weight of eternal truths. Each of us holds a mirror within, reflecting the world around us, he said. His gaze steady and compassionate, he gestured toward the horizon, where the sun climbed slowly, bathing the grove in light. But what happens when this mirror becomes clouded? His question hung in the air, a thread connecting every heart in the circle. I found myself compelled to answer. Master, I said hesitantly, when the mirror is clouded, we see the world through distortion. Unable to grasp its true nature, Buddha nodded, his expression calm and knowing, his presence a still lake beneath the ripples of inquiry. Indeed, a clouded mirror reflects confusion, but what causes this clouding? He asked, his words guiding us deeper into the labyrinth of understanding. The disciples exchanged murmurs, each one lost in their own thoughts. Buddha waited patiently, his silence an invitation to introspection. Finally, an elder disciple spoke, his voice trembling with uncertainty. Master, is it not our ignorance that clouds the mirror? Buddha smiled, his gaze softening like the morning mist lifting under the sun's warmth. Ignorance is but one layer. He leaned forward, his voice a melody of wisdom woven with compassion. Attachment and aversion add their own shadows to the glass. I felt a stir within me, a flicker of recognition ignited by his words. How do we clear the mirror? Master? Buddha gestured toward the lotus pond nearby, its surface shimmering in the rising light. Come, let us walk by the water. The disciples rose, following him in quiet reverence, their footsteps merging with the symphony of nature. We gathered by the pond's edge. Buddha pointed to the lotus flowers, their petals unfurling with grace. These blooms arise from the mud, yet they remain untouched by it. Does not the mud stain their purity? Master? A young disciple asked, his voice filled with wonder. Buddha shook his head, his gaze unwavering, his voice firm yet tender. The lotus does not fight the mud. It grows through it. The mud nourishes the roots, but the flower transcends it, rising above to meet the light, he explained. He turned to us, his eyes pools of infinite depth, carrying the reflection of countless truths. The mirror within us must rise above. But how, Master? I asked, the ache of longing pressing against the walls of my heart. Buddha smiled, his expression radiant, his presence a beacon of solace and strength. By cleansing the mind, the root of all reflection, cleansing requires mindfulness, the deliberate observation of thoughts as they arise and dissolve, he said. He picked up a pebble, tossing it into the pond, ripples spreading outward in gentle waves. Our thoughts are like ripples in the water. When we resist them, the water churns, but when we let them pass, the surface stills, revealing clarity, Buddha said. The disciples nodded, their faces illuminated by the light of realization, their hearts stirring with new understanding. Master, what role does forgiveness play? One asked. Buddha paused, his gaze deepening, his expression serene yet resolute. Its purpose is not reward, but the transformation it brings to the giver's heart. He held up the mirror once more, its surface catching the light, reflecting the faces of those gathered. Forgiveness flows like water, washing away the past. It allows us to see beyond the pain, to recognize the shared humanity in those who have wronged us, he said. I felt a tear slide down my cheek, the weight of his words dissolving something within me. But Master, what if forgiveness feels beyond reach? Buddha turned to me, his gaze piercing yet tender, his presence grounding me in the here and now. Forgiveness begins with understanding. When we understand the roots of suffering, both within ourselves and others, we find the strength to forgive, Buddha said. He gestured toward the distant mountains, their peaks reaching toward the sky. The path of understanding is like climbing a mountain. As we ascend, The air grows clearer. The horizon expands. And the burdens we carry grow lighter, he explained. But how do we climb? Master? I asked, my voice trembling with both fear and hope. The disciples followed Buddha as he continued his journey, the polished mirror now a symbol of clarity and transformation in their shared consciousness. The sun descended beyond the horizon, casting its final golden rays through the trees as Buddha walked ahead. The climb requires the steady steps of mindfulness, the courage to face the unknown, and the resolve to keep going, he said. The disciples sat in contemplative silence, their minds weaving the threads of his wisdom into the fabric of their being. Master, is there an ultimate destination? One asked. Buddha shook his head, his expression serene yet firm, his voice a gentle breeze carrying profound truths. There is no final peak, the journey itself is the destination. For each step carries the potential for awakening, Buddha said. He gestured toward the ripples in the pond, their movement slowing until the surface stilled. Clarity arises not at the end, but in the present. The air grew still. The grove bathed in the soft light of understanding, a sacred space where words fell away into silence. Buddha spoke again, his voice carrying the weight of both the timeless and the immediate. What have you learned from the lotus and the mountain? I met his gaze, my heart steady, my spirit lighter. That clarity requires growth. Forgiveness requires understanding. And the path is as important as the goal. Buddha nodded, his expression radiant with approval, his presence a testament to the shared journey of human existence. And what of your clouded mirror? What does it reveal now? I paused, searching inward, the clouds of confusion lifting to reveal the horizon of my inner world. Let your actions create ripples that nurture and uplift others, Kashyapa reflected aloud. Then walk your path with courage, for the mirror reflects not just the world, but the light within you. And with that, the session ended, the disciples dispersing, but my heart remained full, forever transformed by his words. Transformation is the light that follows. He opened his arms to the breeze. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.